sunny Florida.
Really?
Yeah, Jesus the Juice Vasquez, who you met years ago, and he moved to Florida. He's over there. He's been there for a long time. Alex Rivera, Sonny Marini, they're all in Florida. Left me behind.
Wow, so you're running everything by yourself?
Yeah, pretty much by myself. I have a new team, but, I miss them, and they always ask me to go visit them, but, I don't get on planes because I'm afraid of flying. I haven't been on a plane since I was 8 years old. I drive everywhere.
Oh, so why don't you take a drive?
Well, because my moped won't reach over there. It's like the gas prices on mopeds and everything, it's not cost effective.
The way your bank account is set up?
Yeah, by the time I get there, you probably move to another place.
Move back to New York.
Yeah. So, last week, I had a controversial post on Facebook, like I always do, and we talked about, the new trend where freestyle artists like to put on these GoFundMe pages. And, what I didn't notice was the fact that you had put together a GoFundMe page. So let me apologize first for offending you if I did. But the point that I'm trying to make is that there's a lot of people right now trying to use the audience that we give them to get money from them through a GoFundMe campaign so they can buy them new equipment or so they can pay for concerts that they can't afford to put together. And I think that's pretty ridiculous. So,
I agree. Thank you for the apology, but I also wanted to apologize myself for jumping the gun on that. It's a real touchy situation with me. My husband and I spoke about it at length, and I wasn't going to put one up because I know that a lot of people have mixed feelings about it.
But I think that your GoFundMe is very important. I think it's something that something that anyone with a family member would do that was in a situation like yours. And I'll let you explain. You can go ahead and talk about your situation right now if you like.
Okay, thank you. My son was diagnosed with MS a year ago, multiple sclerosis, and we don't know how long he's had it because he's never complained of, whatever the symptoms were. He's always kept them to himself. But when he was diagnosed last year, he went that complete year without treatment or medication because, he didn't have insurance. Working as a part-time employee, you don't get insurance here. So within that year, he got another lesion on his cervical spine, making that 7 lesions. And he had a mild attack, and when he went to the emergency room, the neurologist told him that if he didn't get treatment now, he would end up paralyzed in a couple of months. And still being without insurance because it's ridiculous trying to get insurance nowadays. And this state, as much as I love the sun and everything, it's not the most helpful state when it comes to insurance and to helping people. So he's left with that, and we were racking our brains. And even with me helping, I could do 10 shows a month, and it still won't be enough for daily living and my life, his medicine and all that stuff. So we decided to do the GoFundMe page, and then I reached out to a couple of people. I had first talked to Hitman Nelson Perez. I asked him a couple of questions, and I needed people's opinions. And then I spoke to Marla G and Jay Kwan, and they really went out of their way to help me get this together. And at first,
for the people that don't know who Jay Kwan is, he's one of the Nasty Boys, and Marla G is the current Giggles.
Correct.
And so, just to explain to the audience that may not know who they are, but they stepped up to help you, of course.
They really did. At first, my son's friends, the group of DJs, Stay Focused DJs here in Florida, they were going to put a fundraiser here in Deltona. They were going to get it started, but no one wanted to donate their clubs or anything like that. So it got a little hectic. And then Jay Kwan told me, "Why don't you reach out to Charlie Rodriguez?" So then I spoke to Saul Alvarez in Miami, and he reached out to Charlie, and Charlie immediately said, "Yes, of course, you could do it here. Do it for this day." So, at first it was something I was real apprehensive about because, you're in the music industry, and you know a lot of these people, you interact with them at shows or whatever, but you don't. There are very few that are really close friends. You know, you're stage acquaintances, but you're not really close friends.
And also,
so
to add to that as well, we know what happens when some people don't do legit fundraisers, you know, where, you know, the money may not go to where it's supposed to go to. And once you get the money or once this event happens, they start questioning you on if you spend it the correct way or, you know, everybody wants that accountability for everything. And that's great. They should have that because we at times have seen fraudulent fundraisers.
Oh, definitely, and it's sad. It really is sad because there are people that, aside from my son, there are people out there that really do need help, and they shy away from asking for it, or people that are willing to help but are scared to help because of situations like that.
And that's why GoFundMe was created, and all these different sites to help people like that. Like I said, I feel very discouraged. I get truly upset when I see artists that we promoted on the show on GoFundMe trying to get brand new equipment, or wannabe promoters that are trying to put shows together in Connecticut, telling the audience to pay for the $13,000-$14,000 investment they put in because they used their 401k and didn't want to lose it. You know, that's pretty ridiculous. But your situation right now, and I know as a mother that you would sacrifice every single dollar that you make on a daily basis to help your son. But if your freestyle family can help you in this situation, and you've agreed to do that, I think that's great. I've seen some things online like eBay auctions and a lot of people, you know, showing you love. Talk about those things.
I was so blessed. I reached out to a couple of my friends in the freestyle industry, and, you know, K7 and George Lamont and Willie from Artistic. George Anthony, who's coming down to perform, he's donating his time. George Lamont, he drew an original painting of Big Pun, and, you know, he sent it to me. He said, you know, good luck. I hope this brings you something. And it just sold on eBay the other day for $108.
Excellent.
And then, and Chrissy Ayi sent her original painting that she has, and it's on eBay. It's being auctioned right now. And the Santana twins, you know, they auctioned off a remix or beats for anyone who wanted to do it. And Artistic has sent in caps and T-shirts, and Amy Torrey has sent in her donations, and Suave and Judy Torres, and the list goes on and on and on. And I was completely taken aback. You know, I saw a post from someone that somebody in my camp reached out to, kind of like making fun of the situation. You know, why people feel the need to help. So I just let it go because
but those are people that are insignificant. They're just trying to get, they're trying to troll. They're freestyle trolls is what we call them. And what they do is just that they want to get some attention, and they want people to be like, yeah, I agree with you, and they want to be popular on social media, but they're irrelevant because, again, you know, it isn't like you're trying to fleece the audience like some of the people that we discussed. You have a specific situation in your life. You know, you have a family member who has multiple sclerosis. It's sick, didn't have insurance. It wasn't because they're not a hard worker, because they work their butts off. They work as much as they can. Jobs are hard to find these days. And, you know, this man went without complaining for a year. And it shows the toughness and how you've brought him up. And, you know, it now he's in need. And not only are you, you know, just taking your time to do as many shows as you can so you can make as much money as you can so you can pay for these bills, but now your freestyle family have gotten together to help you in the situation. And the reason why I have you on the show is because I want you to give them the information, to give the audience listening the information right now, live on the radio, live on the podcast, on extrememixradio.com as well. You know, let them know how they can get involved as well, because, hey, you know, if I would have found out a little bit earlier about that Big Pun drawing by George Lamont, maybe I wanted to bid on it, you know, and win it. You know what I mean? You know, and there are nice prizes right now that are being auctioned off. And, so give them some information on how they can get involved if they want to help you and your son.
Definitely. We have the GoFundMe page link on my page, but it is GoFundMe.com/Anthony Nunez. And then there is the benefit that'll be held at Cafe Iguanas in Pembroke Pines on June 11th to benefit my son and his medications, and that's going to be on June 11th with myself performing, Johnny O performing. He's also going to be performing with his band. Jaquan will be performing, and more. Rudy Gill, Marla G, Company B is going to make an appearance,
Nice.
and I don't know whoever else wants to come by and stop in, and it's a $10 donation at the door. We're also going to have raffle baskets there for people to who want to get T-shirts and CDs and stuff like that. We have raffles going off that day, so it's a lot of things.
There's a podcast and it's live on the radio. So this is in Florida. Do you have the address of the establishment?
The address of Iguanas, Cafe Iguanas. I actually do, but since I am on my phone,
I can actually look for it right now. I found Cafe Bustelo.
I could get a few in a second here. But while that's coming up...
in Florida, right? And that's Cafe Iguana Pines?
Yeah, in Pembroke Pines.
Pembroke Pines. Let's see here. Let me see. I want to make sure I give the right address. But, hey, we were talking about someone important in our lives. That's Willie Valentine. And we were talking about how I left my phone at home and I didn't want to call you collect. And that was a joke. But then you said that Willie Valentine calls collect?
Yes, before Willie Valentine was Mr. Artistic, he used to... oh, my God, he's going to kill me. He used to call me collect at the house, and he would say, when it tells you, you have a collect call from, and then you're supposed to say your name.
Right.
He would throw in a whole big sentence. He was like, I'm down at the train station, come pick me up at the train station, and then he would hang up. And without having to pay for the call. And he would do that all the time.
The Willie Valentine way. Big shout out going to Willie Valentine. I do have the information in front of me, and that's Cafe Iguana Pines, and the address is very, very small. It says here, 8358 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines, Florida. And for more information, 786-277-2270. And there's a couple other things here that I can't read. Whoever made the flyer, I want to thank you for not allowing me to read anything. It says it goes to MiamiDiscoFever.com for more information. I'm going to have to edit the crap out of my podcast right now. Once again, it's Cafe Iguanas, Cafe Iguana Pines, 8358 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines, Florida. Information is available at 786-277-2270 or go to MiamiDiscoFever.com. Performing live, of course, Nyasia, Johnny O, Rudy Gill, and more, Jaquan, also Marla G, Company B, and GA, George Anthony. I might have to get in his suitcase and see if he can take me with him.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for him to be here. Maybe we can perform Heartbreaks again for the second time.
Oh yeah, I think that will be a great idea. I love that duet. As a matter of fact, it's going to be coming up next because it's one of my favorite duets of all time. Nyasia, thank you so much for being here, and I hope that everyone supports your cause. I wish nothing but health for your son, and I wish he was living here where I live, because my job and what I do for a living is find people jobs and find people help, and it would be so easy for me. It kind of drives me crazy that you're all the way in Florida, but I'm going to do my best to pass on all the information that you've given us here on the show, maybe feature it on my website, and feature some of the auctions if they're still going. Just send me all the information to my inbox so I can just share it with the audience who want to support.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me on the show and letting me explain the whole situation.
No, and one more thing, again, don't let negativity get the best of you. Negativity is always going to be there, especially on social media. And not for nothing, but it happens on a daily basis because people are bored. They got nothing to do but to be on social media being freestyle trolls. So please don't worry about that.
Thanks. Have a good night, guys.
You too.
Bye.
Right now, with CPR with you on Clubhouse.